Nice working without my problem. All right, am I recording? Okay. So lastly, the update. Render Lab, 1 Maya software export, 1 Arnold software export. That's it. With your knowledge of Arnold or Maya for rendering, lights, and everything else, what you're going to do is you're going to play with lights and colors. So this scene right here, or something else that you make an object in an environment. It could be something you've already had. It could be something from another class. It could be something from your game design class. It could be something from Art 420. It could be something from anything else you've done in Maya. You're going to do 3 images. This time, though, you're not really playing with the settings. Whatever settings you choose. If you like the way Arnold looked, by all means use Arnold. If you like the way Maya software looked, you use Maya. So you choose your settings. The scene that I'm providing is this one right here. Oops. Right? So that's the scene, right? So you're going to set up your camera angle however you like, and you're going to set up your lights. Have at least 3 lights per scenario. So here's what I want, right?
Does it same camera angle each time?
You know what? You can change your camera angle too. I didn't think about that. I was assuming same camera angle. So my initial assessment was camera angle. So here's what I want you to do. Come early morning, nighttime. Same scene, same stuff in the same location. Make it look like morning once and make it look like night once. So I'm going to create a directional light.
Would it be helpful to put something behind them instead of just the blank Maya environment?
You could do a sky dome. Right? It's Star Wars, so it could be spacey, right? Let me hit 7 here. So if it's morning, you got to consider that it's going to be long shadows, right? A warmer light, right? How warm you want it to look. Okay? And then you're going to have some fun figuring out what you want to do with the other lights, right? So you're going to have a directional light. There is a camera. Oh, there isn't a camera. So you're going to have to build a camera, create camera, look through that camera, get a nice little resolution gate, set that up, something like that. And you're going to get the light color just right. To Ben's point, should we put in something for it? You could do whatever you want to the background, but I mean, it is Star Wars, so when we render it out...
Well, there doesn't have to be anything in the background, like behind the ship from the tower.
Yes. I want the focus to be on lighting, right? So definitely there needs to be a little bit more happening here. Like if you wanted to make, if it's a good guy story, and the hero is this X-Wing, right? Go ahead and do another light here. Some cool tips here for you guys. Don't leave just yet. Let me give you some tips. If you create a light and don't turn off the shadows, that really helps you kind of cheat with lighting. So if I create another light, create a spotlight, or an ambient light, but I make sure there's no shadows being cast, that really just helps me highlight the color of something. And I got to turn on that decay. So I want light on him. Go to my attribute editor, give me my cone angle a little wider, turn on my decay, increase my intensity. That really helps show, maybe even quadratic decay, increase the intensity, get it closer, maybe even look through it, maybe sure I can see it. Yeah. All right, okay. Exposure up a little bit more. Intensity. Okay, maybe I'll take off. I'll go back to linear. All right. I want that drop off. There we go. Penumbra. Now we're cooking. Something like that. Go back to my render. So by adding a spotlight, it helps me show the vehicle with keeping the mood of the environment. To Ben's point, feel free if you want to add a sky dome. So if you go to Arnold here, remember you got to be in rendering mode. You go to Arnold here and you choose lights. You can choose sky dome. If you wanted to do the traditional sky dome from the level 1 class, feel free to do that too. Oops. All right. I'm going to go back to IPR. Getting even closer. All right. If you want, because these are reflective. The buildings are blend, which is why you're seeing these warped reflections, because the light is being cast from there. Oh, let me give you. Oh, that was an Arnold. Let me switch that to Arnold. Yeah, Arnold's over. There we go. Now that I'm in Arnold, I got to increase the intensity of everything, or I can increase this exposure. Something like that. So what you're seeing here is the light is being generated by these colors. So if I had a more spacey or a blue tone, I would have a bluer light. So let's do this. Blue space shot. No. Blue stars.
Blue outer space.
Blue outer space. Thank you. Outer space stars. Something like that. Get that on the screen. Doop. Yep. Load that in instead. Here to here to here. It changes the color of everything, right? The reflections are different. The lighting's different. Everything came across different. What I want you to try to do is get 3 different shots. One's morning. One is, I can feel that Riley wants to leave. One's nighttime. Think of colors, think of shadows, and then something creative of your choosing. You're just going to do pictures. So when you have one that you like,
so
and you go to
something that was like a red lighting, could that be mistaken for morning depending on the red glow?
Right? No, it could be a volcano. No, I know it. I think I can tell the difference. No, cancel. File, save image. Bloop. Right? And you're going to be turning in 3 rendered images of that. Too dark. I got to lighten those up. So you could use this direct, like the sky dome, as a directional light. And then feel free to highlight and bring out other things with other lights. You might use more than 3. You might wind up using a lot, right? Let me see if that's showing up. Is that showing up on my IPR? Kind of. I got to crank that up even higher. 50. Whoop. Get up there. Type. Oh, no. There you go. Oop, and that angle is too small now. All right. So you get the idea. Same thing we just did with the lab, but you're going to do file, save image. If you're getting stuck on the IPR, you can also go to renderer, and you can choose render current frame. And that'll get you to the same spot as IPR. You don't need to you don't need to render out an image sequence. I didn't talk about fog. We're not going to talk about fog. Don't worry about fog. Just ignore fog. You can also think about motivated lighting versus hidden lighting. What's a motivated light? If this light was green and I made it coming from these blasters over here, right? It's going to look like he's being lit up by, let me get it behind him, right? He's going to get lit up by the laser blast. So if I hit IPR here, And just change that angle. Get behind him. Something like that, right? Because there's green lasers right here. And so then I have green light falling onto those green lasers, which might be cool. So that's called motivated lighting. And I got to increase that intensity way up. Let's do 200. There you go. So there it is. So it needs a little bit more work, but you get the idea. Okay? If you want to do Maya software and not deal with Arnold, more power to you. Feel free to, right? Feel how it works. If you don't like the reflectivity of the building, you can turn that off, give it just a straight Lambert. Feel free to do that too. There's lots of different things you can kind of play around with. So what I want you to do is have fun, play with the lights, and come up with 3 different looks for this exact same little battle. The X-Wing dodging the TIE fighter. How many images are you turning in? Are you turning in 12 images?
Yeah. Definitely.
3 images.
3 images. Are you turning in a play blast?
Yeah, sure.
Are you turning in no, just 3 images. If you wanted to, you could keyframe these and render out a whole sequence, but you don't have to do that. Okay, I'm going to call it a wrap. Remind me, I'm going to show you environmental fog next week. Next week, we get to blend shapes with your head. Most of you have your head now. Most of you have one of 2 heads, if not both heads. We're going to do blend shapes, just like you did in 420. That's next week. Blend shapes. And then we do controls for the blend shapes. And then we do one last animation. And then your final. That's it, right? Blend shapes. Let me just check. Sorry, Riley. Riley's chomping at the bit to go. Juan's chomping at the bit to go. Someone's standing up there. Yeah. So we are going to do face blends. And then we are going to do what's called set-driven keys. And then we are going to do non-linear animation, which is a fun way of animating things without a rig. And then you got a final. Questions, comments, concerns? What's extra credit? Anything we've done in this class, if you want to play blast it out as a render. So if you wanted to do any more rendering out of anything you've done in class and really kind of up it up, you'll get bonus points on top of what we just did for practice. All right. Do I have... And I'm just because I'm finishing early. Who didn't turn in the render lab? Jamar? Christo?